Channel 11, KTTV, that's entertainment.
It said negotiations would continue as usual on Thursday, and the communists say the Nixon administration will be responsible for continuing the war past November 1st, when the ceasefire would have taken effect. It looks like none of Canada's 4 major parties has emerged from Monday's federal elections with a parliamentary majority, and the Liberal Party, which dominated for the last 4 years under Prime Minister Trudeau, lost more than 40 seats. The heat of the presidential campaign is becoming more personal.
2 yards out.
On to win that game.
They say, of course, that luck is involved in something like that, but those are 2 guys, Bell and Ben Hawkins, who always seem to be around the ball, regardless of where it comes up.
Having watched the Bell play a couple of times, what impressed me was Eddie never broke stride.
As he said, I was just thinking that something like this might happen, and it did.
Well, we'll be back to take a preview of today's games as the NFL continues in just a moment.
You've got to be tough to be a land leveler, turning blistering desert into lush farmland. Your equipment's got to be tough, too. That's why Merle Stevens protects his engines with AC oil filters. AC filters have a tough polyester-reinforced filtering material. They're built tough, tested tough, to stand up to high oil temperatures and pressures, so they keep filtering efficiently when the going's tough. Help protect vital engine parts from choking dust and dirt like this. You may never torture your engine the way Merle does, but tough polyester-reinforced filtering material is built into the AC oil filters that go into your car to help minimize engine and bearing wear. Next oil change, insist on the tough one, an AC oil filter. Original equipment on GM cars, available for all American and most imported cars.
AC keeps you going when the going's tough.
Well, there's another game with Super Bowl implications today, and that would be the Los Angeles Rams against the Oakland Raiders at Oakland. And I don't know, Pat, what do we know about Roman Gabriel? We know he's not at full strength, and they're going to need him.
Well, as you know, and I'm sure all of our listeners and fans know, he's been taking acupuncture treatments. He has a very bad right elbow. The last time I saw him, and I think as evidenced by what I saw of last week's game against Cincinnati, he can't throw the ball effectively more than 15 or 18 yards. That's got to affect the way that Oakland plays defense against him.
Well, of course, he's got a couple of good runners there, but they were so really lucky or fortunate to get by Cincinnati the week before, and this will be a big game. They're going to know what San Francisco and Atlanta did before they play.
Right, they'll have that advantage because that game is in Atlanta, and that, of course, has a great bearing. If Atlanta wins, they've got to win to hold first place. If San Francisco wins, well, they'll still be in first place, but only a half game in front of the 49ers, so... Again, as you pointed out, they'll have the advantage of knowing, because that game will be over by the time they start.
And how about Al Davis's conglomeration of the Oakland Raiders?
Well, Darryl LaMonica has been starting at quarterback. He suffered a back injury last week, and the snake, Kenny Stabler, came in and did a fine job, as I understand. Oakland's got some great material. Outstanding receivers in Fred Biletnikoff and Raymond Chester, the tight end. The new rookie from Villanova, Mike Ciani, who might be Rookie of the Year. So he's got a lot of talent to work with. You
got Bob Brown, too, there on the Oakland team, who used to be with the Los Angeles Rams and would certainly like to knock them over.
Well, that's got to make some difference, too. Marv Hubbard is having a fine year at running back for them, too. It's a mystery, again, as there are a lot of teams. A lot of people don't know what's wrong this year. Oakland is one of those teams. They have not played good football as yet.
Well, we'll see. An interesting game. The Los Angeles Rams against the Oakland Raiders. Pat, you know, something that's always intrigued me, the helmets being worn today. I put one on once, and it's so hard to get on, and you feel like if you have claustrophobia, look out. How much have they changed in the last few years?
They really haven't changed too much. They have the new water helmets now, the ones that are supposed to absorb even more than the conventional type, one that after you put it on, they fill it with sort of a cushion of water, which fits very close to your head. Once you put it on, once you fill it with that water, you don't take it off for 3 or 4 hours. Your head gets so hot you can't believe it, but it does furnish a little bit better, more thorough protection, I think.
Did you like to take your helmet off when you got to the sideline?
Always did. To me, it was one of the most confining things, as you say, that I have ever experienced. It just feels like you've got a big box on your head. I couldn't wait to get out of it.
Well, we have a lovely feature coming up on helmets, from the days of the soft leather ones to the water beds they're wearing now, and that'll be coming up as the NFL Today continues in just a moment.
$7.99. That's the low price of this high-quality Black & Decker quarter-inch drill. $15.99 buys you this variable speed drill that matches the speed to the job, even drive screws. $24.99 buys reversing action as well as variable speed. And $74.99 gives you cordless power wherever you need it. If you've got a job for a drill, Black & Decker has a drill for the job for less than you'd expect.
Quarterback.
It's Mattel's new talking football game. You're the quarterback.
Got you that sign.
You pick the play. Your opponent sets the defense. And you hear what happens.
8 yards back, a fumble.
Oh, no.
Lots of strategy, competition, and game planning like in big-time pro football.
Flanker has it. Touchdown.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
New talking football with 96 talking action plays from Mattel.